your non-negotiable compass to supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our values, our core values, I'm just giving you the answer right off the bat, are that compass. They're not just pretty words on the wall. They're not just something that we create with our executive teams, or we come up with ourselves and we plaster them or have them in a notebook and we share them in presentations to potential clients. They are an incredibly powerful decision-making tool and filter if we choose to use them as such. And I'm going to recommend that you do if you're not already. So defining our core values, we've obviously, if you've been with me a few months, have talked about this every month of this year. And that's because it's one of those foundational things that is so important. And I share other tools every month too, because they're so important to have in your toolbox so that when something comes up and they're the appropriate tool, you automatically have them at your disposal to use. You've practiced them several times. You've made them your own. You know how and when to apply them, etc. Core values are one such thing. Somebody actually sent me an AI prompt to come up with your top 5 core values. I used it. I can't remember what came up, but I think it was in alignment with what my core values really are. But really all it does is it shows you the list of possible core values, and you pick your top 5 over and over and over again, and then it filters out and looks for the patterns in what you select, obviously, because that's how AI works. But why do we care about our core values? Especially, why do we care about our core values in spirituality? It's kind of like contribution and spirituality. These are probably the 2 toughest areas for most business owners, most entrepreneurs, most founders to wrap their heads around, because they don't believe that they have anything to do with business. But the truth is, once we know and have identified our business's core values, and they better reflect your core values or you're not going to uphold them, but they don't necessarily have to. I have things that I value in my businesses higher than I value them in my personal life. One, and I guess that's probably not true. I probably value them the most. But if I were to rank personal goals or core values and personal and business core values, I might have some slight differences, usually by only 1, maybe 2 degrees of difference. And it doesn't really matter. For example, in relationships, in my personal life, I value certain types of relationships more than I do in my business life and my business activities, if that makes sense. So core values, let's just be clear on what these are and how to go about figuring out what yours are, because our action item today is going to be to clearly identify what are the top 3 core values in your organization. And what I want you to do today is something a little bit different. I don't want you to look at what's written if you've already done this exercise with your executive team. I want you to look around at the results in your business and see what those results show you and tell you about the things that you're valuing as your organization. I've worked for lots of different businesses in my corporate career, and I worked for hundreds and hundreds, if not probably thousands at this point, of different businesses and business owners in different industries since I left corporate America. And well, actually during and since I left corporate America. And what I have found to be true is it isn't what we write down, it isn't what we say, it's what we actually do and demonstrate with our actions on a daily basis. So if our core value is to do what we say we're going to do, to always meet our customers' expectations, whatever it might be, however you might say that, are you actually doing that? I don't think you can always meet every customer's expectations all the time. I know that's something that we can shoot for, but is that realistically an expectation? If it's a core value of yours to always satisfy and always make sure your customers are happy, then it's a core value of yours. Obviously, it is one of mine, but it's not in terms of, I know that I can't make anybody or anything do anything I want them to just because I want them to, right? I often, with my consulting and coaching clients, want for them more than they want for themselves and their business to get the outcome that they say that they want. If they don't really want what they say they want, it's really hard to help them and coach them and consult them to the thing that they say they want when their actions and their values and their core beliefs are a mismatch. I've been in entire businesses and industries where I woke up one day, I couldn't figure out why I was burning out and stressed out, but I would wake up in a cold sweat because I knew that there was a core values mismatch between the business and the industry I was in and my personal actual feelings and beliefs about certain practices in that industry. I have never worked for the pharmaceutical industry. I will never work for the pharmaceutical industry. I will not consult or help probably the pharmaceutical industry in any way, shape, or form throughout my lifetime and career. Why? Because I know that there is a tremendous values and belief and core values certainly mismatch. Even though it's an industry that says it's to help humanity, it pretty much does just the opposite. I just said all that out loud. Wow. If something happens to me, you know why. So our core values are not just what we say we're going to do, it's what we actually do. Interestingly enough, one of my core values is do what you say you're going to do, especially in business. So many people overpromise and underdeliver in business. If you just do what you say you're going to do, you are ahead of at least 97% of anyone that could ever compete against you for anything. Because the truth is, people don't follow up. They don't do what they say they're going to do. They don't meet their commitments. It's sad but true, right? And so if you know that that's a core value of yours and that's your compass to, number one, it caused me to shut up a whole lot more and not commit to things that I wasn't 100% sure that I could follow through on and do. And mostly I'm talking to my personal life because I would say yes to everything and then wonder why I was exhausted and burnt out and beyond my capacity to get things done in a timely manner. I'm going to share my top 3 because I think that these appear both in my personal life and in my businesses and how I do business. So do what you say you're going to do. Continuous improvement, lifelong learning, whatever you want to call it, always being a better version of yourself, setting the example. And the third one, the one that comes up number 1 for me in almost every category is love. Why? Because the way I define love is a foundational feeling that I want to feel in everything that I do in every area and aspect of my life. So I want that to be a filter in terms of and a consideration whenever I make choices or decisions in any area or aspect of my life. So think about a couple of things today for your business, and you might as well think about them for you as well. What will you never compromise on in business? Where is your line in the sand in business? And you don't have to show this to anybody, but I want you to sit down and write this down and actually do this today. Because when you know your non-negotiable line in the sand, it makes everything so much easier. It's easy to see, okay, we're in this world of like infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities to grow and work with different people and do different things and show up in different areas and aspects of the world. But is it really right for you? If I'm an introvert and I get an opportunity to do a television show on streaming live TV, am I going to do that? And it's more than just stretching our comfort zone. If that's truly who I am, chances are I'm not going to do that. That's not the type of opportunity that is going to feel good to me. I might do it a couple of times and realize, oh my God, I'm in way over my head. I don't want to do this. And if we don't want to do something, if we don't decide and commit to something, it's never going to happen. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much evidence there is that you should do it. If it goes against your core values, the answer is always going to be no. And no is okay, because no means it's just not right for me at this time. Doesn't mean down the road you might change your mind and do something differently. It just means right now it isn't going to happen. Do your daily actions reflect your stated values? Are you taking actions daily that are aligned with and match up with your beliefs and your stated values? If not, it's time to question and ask, number 1, why are you not? Or number 2, is that stated value still relevant? Sometimes, I was in the Italian food manufacturing business for 35 years. The core values that we started with were pretty much relevant throughout, but there were some things that we chose not to do anymore. I used to, and we used to, when we first started the business, would take on anybody and everybody who wanted to sell our Italian food. It was a B2B business, right? Business to business. And we would take on everybody. And then as we progressed and matured and got better at it, we realized we didn't want to take on everybody. We didn't want to sell to every Tom, Dick, and Harry our products and services, because some of them weren't in alignment and they were just buying based on price, yada, yada, yada. All the reasons we do the things we do and businesses do the things we do. And we realized some customers just weren't worth the stress, the drama, and the effort. And actually, there was a point where I had to fire our number one biggest customer. They represented 80% of our gross revenue at the time I finally let them go. Probably one of the scariest decisions I ever made in my life. But it turned out we replaced all that volume and more within 3 months, because all of the energy and time and resources that was being spent to manage a really challenging, bad for us customer was freed up, and everybody could put their positive energy into growing and scaling the business. And that's exactly what we did. So today, what are we doing? 3 core business values. Share them in the comments below. You can discuss them a little bit or say why you selected them if you want, but you don't have to. You could just put, I would put consistency, love, continuous improvement. That's what I would put. And then I already talked about them, so I probably don't need to pontificate anymore on it. That's it. I'd like to invite you to join us in the Supersize Your Business school community group if you like these topics and like these discussions. This is where I'm actually housing the Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge, our first annual challenge in the Supersize Your Business group. Even though I've been showing up for 3,107 days, actually over probably 3,109 days, because I know I missed a couple days. I missed Christmas 2019. I had COVID, sick, couldn't stop coughing to get even a sentence out, not even a phrase. So it was just me coughing my brains out on the couch that Christmas day. And one other day, I think I was past the midnight mark when I actually got it posted. So I don't count that one either. All right. But I'd like to invite you to join me there. It's a place where you can find me, get direct access to me. These days, I'm simplifying. I'm doing a massive simplification of all the things I used to do, moving them onto the things I want to keep doing onto the school platform, Supersize Your Business. And I may or may not, I don't want to separate my energy right now, create like a annual challenge personal development community, but I haven't decided yet, because I know I don't want to create another thing that will take time away from what I'm creating in Supersize Your Business. All right, if I can help you in any way, reach out and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.